what we want. This is what we're looking for. There's a long time that we've been going over the name. I don't want to do a little refresher with the name, understanding the name and who we are and what's not, you know. Because as we know, the name, how important the name is, both our name and our Father's name. Because from the time we know our name, we can know the Father's name. If we know the Father's name, we can know our name. Because all is one, the image and likeness of the Creator. You know what I mean? So it's great to know the name and understand the name. So you can start to build a relationship with the Creator by knowing the name. That way you will know yourself too, because you will tell yourself all your life that you're Williams or Gittings or, you know, a Brown. Which, you know, these plantation names. You know, these not the names that we came from, that belong to us rightfully. These names that were given to us, but we don't have names before we even, from the time we were born, we had a name. We ain't about to change the name years later. Or we ain't need to go nowhere for nobody to give you an idea, but you name so and so, you know? You had a name already, Israel. So, this lesson is the name Israel. And in every Bible, all through the Bibles and things, you can see the word Israel, all through the Bible. Wherever we look, you can see Israel. The Father's name, all in, from Genesis to Deuteronomy for sure. You know, let me try Exodus. We go to the book of Exodus. This is a good one here. Exodus chapter 4, 22.
Exodus chapter 4, verses 22.
Yeah.
Then you must tell him that I,
Israel.
See, Israel is my firstborn son.
Right. Israel, firstborn son, meaning a collective noun. Son meaning a nation of people. He's laying off firstborn in terms of this, my first people that come from me and someone else. And I name you Israel. So, firstborn son, Israel is my firstborn son. So, you know, we starting to understand, well, we as a people, dark-skinned, bully hair people, Israel, but the name Israel, the identity. And, you know, further down all in the scriptures and thing too, and everybody, you know, we did, they're called Bible school when we were young in the Christian world, probably. So, everybody know the story of Moses, and the part in the Red Sea, and slavery from Egypt, and, you know, so it's a particular one group of people that the Almighty empowered Moses to be taken out of Egypt, be taken out of slavery. Eventually the Almighty decided, well, let me start to wake up my children again from sleep, spiritual sleep. So he explained to Moses now and to give Moses laws and give his children, the children of Israel, his laws and things. So he said Moses to gather together a nation of people. A lot of people just bypass this in the Bible too. You know, you ask any nation, any race, what's the Ten Commandments? You know, but the Ten Commandments weren't given to everybody. They can't see that part. This part here, we can read here now. There's only one nation that received the law. There's only one race, one man, one people that received the law. And we can learn this people here now. This is Deuteronomy chapter 5. This is verse 1, I read verse 1 and 2. Here came Moses. Moses called together all the people of Israel. The people of Israel. Moses ain't called together the nations of the world, because they were a lot of nations. Moses ain't called, the Omnipotent Moses called together the Egyptians, nor the Ethiopians. You know, Moses called together the children of Israel, called Moses was an Israelite too. And people of Israel, see, addressing now the people of Israel, listen to all these laws that I'm giving you today. Learn them and be sure that you obey them. So the Almighty speaking, Moses speaking to one nation, which is the people of Israel, which ain't that one nation received the law. You continue a little more and understand who the people are, which people, how you can identify these people. You know, you will understand too that the name Israel is a collective noun. It's the name of a race, it's the name of a people, it's the name of a person too. It's singular and plural.
It's the name of a nation.
Of a nation. So and a nation is a group. A nation is a group of people.
Beautiful.
You know, But still individually,
Yes.
you name Israel, Israel,
You
Israel.
have the nation of Israel,
Mhm.
and then you have the races.
Right.
Reuben,
Tribes
Simeon.
inside the nation.
Beautiful.
Right. Are all last name Israel.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse is 6. Do this because you belong to us. Show your ruler. From all the peoples on earth, he chose you to be his own special people. Now, in here, in most of the scriptures, you will see the word God. G-O-D, capital letter. We will get into the person and proper name later on, but you see, we don't use the word God or Lord or, these words shouldn't even be uttered, the Almighty says. So, until you learn the name, you will see these words inside scripture, but it's not necessarily, you shouldn't be using these words, period. Once you know the name, you will know and get accustomed, get on your tongue now to get rid of the old words and use the correct person and proper name, which is what we learn in here now. So again, from all the peoples on earth, he, the Almighty, chose you, Israel, to be his own special people. Because this is the Archangel Moses talking to the children of Israel now. So he teaching them now about, separate yourself. Yes, all humans, but separate yourself. Certain things one people could do and certain things this next people can't do because the Almighty loved you and say, well, don't do these things. Let them do it. So we can still learn, we still got to find out who and how. But I'm just trying to get to the point how much the word Israel being used. We get to Jacob and what's not later on, because remember the Almighty, and as I read before, all who come along, the Almighty started to teach Jacob who he is or who he was, because the Almighty chose Jacob's children and descendants to be special chosen people and to obey the laws, and the laws were given to him. And after Jacob was being taught by the Almighty taught him also that, from now on, really and truly, your name is Israel. My name is Israel, your name is Israel. So all your descendants can be named Israel. All. So we're trying to find out who's these descendants now in this time. Who is the nation of Israel, who they are, who the identity, and being able to identify them. So Jacob's name was changed to Israel, meaning Jacob learned that his name was Israel. Again, Israel all the way down, further down in Isaiah. All over, from Genesis to Revelation, Israel. Isaiah 43:1, the Almighty said that he has called them by name, and they are his.
Israel, the Creator who created you, says, do not be afraid, I will save you. I have called you by my name, you are mine.
Right.
So again, it shows a special bond.
Special bond.
Not an ordinary bond, an extraordinary bond.
Let's say when we young, we running around and thing, you've got some friends, your friends outside. But after a certain time, you see your father or mother will call you inside. But won't call you rest because you special. To your father. Yes. The other you special to them parents. Yes. But you special to your father, so he can call you inside. You ain't really their parents for God know and God let them know what they're doing. But my father cared for you, so the same with the Almighty's deal with us.
So my main concern is about my sperm, my DNA.
Yes, the genealogy, where you come from. So we got there where we going.
Beautiful.
I got a little encouragement to keep on with the foot to get there too. Because if you don't know where you're going, and you know the reason you're going there, you ain't really gonna make a big effort, and I feel that's the problem today too. That's really be my point I be trying to get over. Just understand who you are, but it's trying to cut me fast, so depending on who's talking, it's trying to cut me. Understanding who you are, Mr. Moderator, is the only way that you're gonna have a little encouragement, because you're gonna know where you're going. I want you to understand where you're going. You're gonna get every day and fight to keep going, You're not gonna give up, and because the topic at the time was suicides. Depression, or what you call, we were saying mental depression, then leading to suicides, because we had a lot of suicides the other day. So I was trying to explain that getting closer to the Creator is the way, and the only way, and one of the main reasons why most Negroes, the children of Israel, don't get closer to the Creator is because they don't know who they are. If you knew or was aware who's your father and how special you are, these people that I'm talking about, the nation of Israel that I'm speaking about, that I'm trying to identify now, if they knew who they were and how special they were, people would do good. I believe so. Isaiah.
Isaiah chapter 43 verses 15.
Yes.
Okay, I am the creator, your holy ruler. I created you, Israel, and I am your king.
You know, 43 and 21.
43 and 21. They are the people I created for myself,
You're so blessed.
and they will sing my praises.
You're so blessed. So, you know, the Almighty says, I created you, Israel. I am your king. You are the people I created for myself. And you will sing my praises.
That's so very personal.
Oh, he's speaking to his children. We want to know who he's speaking to? The pastors and the preachers and the so-called pastors and the so-called spiritual leaders that you're going to go and pay, that you're going to go and pay them to go and
So
teach
this is the reason why then a lot of people want to be imposters, like persons who say they're Jews, but they're the synagogue of Satan. Because why I mention that is because how the Almighty always personal.
Right, personal, right.
So I see what other nations or races will get jealous of, of who we are.
Right. And we don't know how to support it because we ain't clueless.
Because
no, I claim the city Israel because
Revelation 2:9 will say they are Jews, but the synagogue of Satan because they are imposters.
Right, claiming.
But as the brother Shamir says that we are the nation of Israel.
Right.
We're the only nation that have a peculiar look.
Right. We got one look.
We have a peculiar look. We're very stand out.
I guess the gist of it is that
very stand out.
That there are particular benefits that automatically goes along with being
Israelite.
Right. Being of the Creator's lineage.
You mean characteristics?
Not characteristics, benefits in terms of blessings.
The inheritance and Jews.
Status in the world.
Yes.
Right, so the
it's a privilege.
Right, is a direct privilege.
And that's why they're trying to claim it.
Right.
Jewish.
Right, for the position, not only the Jewish, because
the Gentiles in the whole.
The Gentiles in the whole. Because the Muslims got their version of that narcissism.
But you see, the reason I like to call the Jewish thing is because they're closer than the Christians. They're closer to. To me, they know more of the chosen ones than Christians. Christians don't mention Israel. The Israelis know, right? They don't. The Jewish, they don't see themselves as Gentiles.
True.
They see themselves.
You know,
but Christians see themselves as Gentiles, wanting to be Jews. Christians aren't aware or aren't taught in theology that they are the Jews. They're taught that they are the Gentiles.
Agree.
So the Jewish, the emulators, they, as I said,
they are the direct imposters.
They're closer.
Very much.
I have a better idea who the true Israel is, who the true Jews are, than Christians. Whether there's the Christians, whether it's a Negro Christian, Indian Christian. Because that's another thing I learned a lot too. Christianity is, they got Chinese as the Christians. They got Israelis as the Christians. They got brother any boys are Christian.
But anybody can't be an Israelite. But anybody cannot be an Israelite. And what is that Israel? Because we carry the holiness of the hair. All nations carry Switzerland or we're going to get there some more.
But you know the Muslims claim as well. The Muslims claim to be special people too. By adherence to the law, they say.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So everybody want to claim that, well, we're the created special ones for whatever reason.
For whatever reason. But don't they even be fully aware of the reasons needed, you know? Let's do a lot of traditionalization too, you know?
True.
Let's work off a lot of traditions. Weird thing. Even according to the Cretans, the Christians know, even in their book, you know, and they got a button in the New Testament.
Titus.
They got Paul in there now. I'm on there with Paul. That's it. He himself is an Israelite too. Lost genealogy put one status as a Jew at risk. If you can't call back your dad, and you father, in these times, you have to be able to recall the son of this body, to be able to prove to yourself, or not even to yourself, to people, your genealogy, where you come from, what lineage you come from, what tribe you come from. But we notice, as I read too, tribe of Benjamin. It don't just say I am. Most people you don't really see, or I am Shemaiah ben Israel. I am Shemaiah ben Israel of the tribe of Israel. Even though the tribe is Israel, you know, it's a bless. It's a bless. These were descended from Israel. The footnote there marks there by God kind of marking. Here it says genealogies were greatly, there's a footnote explaining just this bare word. Genealogies were greatly valued because it was vitally important for an Israelite, a Jew. I can get to that now. Jews, we are the Jews, the true Jews. To be able to prove that he or she was a descendant of Abraham, was there and was therefore a part of Israel's people. Remember, I just read, these special people, you are my special people of all the nations on earth. So then you have to be able to prove that. And then it also goes to say, a lost genealogy put one's status as a Jew at risk. So in other words, I believe that, because you ain't born knowing everything, you will have to be taught from your mother and your father to tell you who his father was, and think. And then your mother could do it too, because she got she own genealogy too. You understand what I mean? So you go and know, he got to know. Same thing we here in the Western world in exile, we supposed to know, important, we supposed to know, oh here, that's where we is the way we are right now. The man in, that you say you met, the king that tell the French leave. He gone over here, he got and he younger than we, he's a young man. So study how how knowledgeable he is of where he had come from. And the process and what went on in the land long before he born. Oh, he's 47, you guess he's younger than me. He's 44. He's 44. So he got idea, you know, and he said, yeah, well, I want to know that these people here wanna tarnish my land and rape my land. This guy not too long. Nah. People stop to this here, because this time is judgment. These times ain't forgiving. This time is judgment. Because he know that a lost genealogy puts one's status as a Jew at risk. So if he didn't know his genealogy and he didn't know his status, he ain't going to fight. He can't fight for Nigeria. No. Are you Nigerian? How you know you're Nigerian? He knows, because he can tell you the same way when you come in here last night. I asked you questions and you told me last night, this body, my father, thing come from this, and then you can't be way back before you born. Because you got to know. But we just said, nah, I from Clarence Williams in Christchurch. You don't know it. A Jamaican, nah, I born in Ocho-Rios. See, you're from Ocho-Rios, you get brain to Ocho-Rios. Yeah. You know? It's a bless. But you know, we're supposed to know who Israel is in the Almighty eyes. As I told you, you're supposed to know who Israel is. Israel is the Almighty firstborn. Israel is the Almighty children. Israel is the nation that out of all the nations on earth, the Almighty chose to be His own. And Israel is in the image and likeness of the Creator, you know. And Israel is His choice, His chosen, His cared for. We want to identify them here now. We can start to try and identify them now. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Right.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 37.
So bless.
In the countries to which the Almighty scattered you, the people will be shocked at what has happened to you. They will make fun of you and ridicule you.
They will make fun of you and ridicule you.
Hmm.
28 and 68.
The Almighty will send you back to Egypt in ships, even though He said that you will never have to go there again.
Sent back to Egypt in ships.
Yeah.
I mean, He saved the Israelites from slavery out of Egypt. So rightly the Israelites were sent back into slavery by the Almighty because of disobedience. Not necessarily Egypt, because they did not go out of slavery via ships from Egypt. Egypt is used as a metaphor. The use of a word, which is a metaphor, is the use of a word or phrase to represent someone or something that is like it in some way. for slavery. The land in which the Israelites were given, you cannot get to Egypt via ships from there, which we discussed about the other day.
Yeah.
That the brother was explaining that to you the other day.
Walk on foot. It was foot.
We do all kind of history and thing at school, and being here about the slave trade from school, I don't know how it was in your land. If you heard about the slave trade, they teach you slave trade and history in school. We ain't get that. They teach you that. We ain't teach you that in Barbados.
That's where the story start. When we went to school,
Slavery. Start with slavery.
we get bring here
Yeah.
as slaves on ships. That's where the story start, as we are slaves.
That's the part
And
I heard.
then from there the story but just continue into the Arawaks and the Caribs.
Right.
and
I can't remember Bajans. I
That's
can't remember
all-
Negroes.
That's
I can
all the
remember
history.
Caribs, Arawaks, Mayans, Aztecs, Incas.
From Togo, you now have Ghana. Ghana had a station as well. You had the Ivory Coast having a station.
I heard the Ivory Coast had the station for sure.
Then you had Liberia, you had Sierra Leone, and you had all the way down to Senegal and the Gambia.
They-
All them they got landing stations.
Yeah, landing stations.
You mentioned Ghana too, right?
Yes,
You mentioned Ghana?
Yeah.
Ghana, yes.
Yeah,
So-
because I can remember where a slave's holding station where is a
Get to
tourist
no
spot
return.
now.
Yeah, you see that?
Gate of no return, they call it.
Yes, with the tunnel, with the boat in Secambia, with the jetty and
They
there.
built
Gate
forts.
of no return.
They built forts in all these places. There were, even within the forts, you have the holding stations, and from the holding stations, they now pass the slaves all tied, all chained up, to that point where you have the gates of no return. Then they're distributed. The reason why they were distributed is not to make the mistake that happened in Haiti. Because during the time of Haiti, they took all the slaves from the Congo. And therefore the slaves from the Congo could understand themselves, hence the uprising.
It was easier
hence
for them
to slaughter
Yes,
the French.
I understand.
So that was the last time they took people from the
One
same-
state, they mixed them up.
So they started having
Speaking one town.
landing stations.
You know what?
Now,
White people just learn quick when they're doing evil.
So
Why you
when
tell
they
me
do-
like that?
Yeah, they made like
Huh?
cunning, they made get cunning.
so the next thing that happened, was amazingly all the slave masters, the English, the Portuguese, the Spanish, actually sat down to think about it. These are the slave traders.
Yes,
and
say
say,
no.
okay, you know what? We're all going to come together, build these forts, stage, and then hey.
This is like the Berlin Conference.
Yeah, the Conference of Berlin.
This is not even
Oh.
the Berlin Conference.
The before.
These are
Wow.
these are the slave ship masters.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Actually sat down to say, look, we all have this whole. Let us bring all our different slaves to this holding station, and then the first bid for the slaves would come from each of the captains of the ships. So let's say now I'm brought from Nigeria and another guy is brought from Zimbabwe, and we're all in that holding station. There's a bid now. So let's say my own captain brings me from Nigeria, and then another captain brings out the guy from Zimbabwe. The guy from that other side would end up with my own captain, while I would end up with that other. So that, and then, but now all of them had different destinations, now based on the colonizers on the other side who said, look, bring slaves to Virginia. So maybe from Ghana, it set sail straight to Virginia.
America, right.
Bring to Ontario or wherever in Canada, straight to that destination. Bring to the Caribbean, you know. And then so they now created some form of organization among themselves. So they have their first bid. Their first bid is on the shores of Africa, redistributing.
Bid meaning, when you say bid meaning buying them, got the first name on
Now they're not buying. They're not buying in terms of auction, but they're what? Well, okay, let me not use the word bid. So let's say we're all apple tree pickers, right? And then instead of you pick your own apples in your own basket, right?
Yeah.
I pick my own apples in my own basket. Normally, you should take your basket to the market.
Right.
But now this is what they said. Let's bring all our baskets together. Okay. This time is cool.
Oh yeah, everything. Sorry, I listening to you.
So what it says is, let's bring all our baskets together. We'll all pour our apples on the ground, right? I know that in my basket I had 200 apples. In your basket you had 200 apples, right? So what will now happen is we pour all our apples on the floor
together.
in the pool, and then we shuffle it together. Then you pick 200, I pick 200, irrespective of where it comes from.
Mix up. I come from somewhere to eat. We can't mix
but
it
at the
together.
end of the day, you have 200. You have 200 apples back in your basket. I have 200 apples back in my basket. But some of those apples in my basket will come from your side.
Yes.
Some of your apples come from
my side. Mix it up. So that then what you get.
And then now there is no communication.
Yeah. No. Only the language I want when I learn now.
So communication.
Which is English now.
So if because.
Make a yours, right?
Make methodical.
Some type of things.
So now, because the truth of the matter, a lot of even the guys that were kidnapped were fishermen.
Huh? A lot.
A lot of the slaves that were kidnapped were fishermen. Some of them. And you cannot tell me, and even in Africa, by looking at the sun, I can tell you what time it is.
Yes.
I can tell you where it's not.
Yes.
And even the Muslims who face the east and pray. So we know all of that. Even with the sky. Even with the sky. But because I feel helpless, because I'm bound in chains, because now I cannot say, hey, look, we're like this.
Right.
What do we do?
I can't say nothing. You understand?
So I'm even trying to tell you what do we do?
What do we do? Let me go to here.
Okay.
Or let me jumpy. Let me plan.
Let's come up with a plan.
Yeah, can't plan
because we can't communicate.
Can't talk.
Wow. So what they did was follow the rules of the Tower of Babel.
Yes. Split up the tongues.
Split up the tongues. Therefore, the project stops.
Wow. Yeah.
Split tongues. Many tongues.
Because even those ships would not have even gone past the first rim of the Atlantic.
Yes. Yes.
And
If they could
communicate
and get together, they would rebel. They would have put up a fight. But you know, that's the Almighty will.
Because now, if you look at the cargo they were carrying sometimes they were carrying as much as 2,000 slaves, and you have a crew of only 50 guys.
If we could have talked, we would have brought chains and
200 to 50.
Kill people.
Come on.
Wow. Yeah, and that would have pray to that.
Yeah, you just lay down there. You just lay down there, and the body, you just lay down there and get treated like a dog, and just lay down there. 100,000 or one, I wanna just can't get it, but nah, the man they talk, I can't understand.
Remember when that scripture that said that the Gentiles say, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation."
Yes.
Which show you that is a methodical plot.
Yes, it's a plan.
It's a plan.
And it worked too.
Very methodical plot.
And it worked too. Because, you know, that's how they sit down together, as you say, and pencil this out and say, nah.
Because now, Haiti was a very big blow to them.
So Haiti was one of the first spots.
Haiti is the first country in the Western Hemisphere that achieved independence through a rebellion. They slaughtered every Caucasian. The Haitians were speaking their own indigenous. They had their own indigenous.
Well, not French. They speak. They speak Patois.
Okay.
Congolese.
So but it's Congolese really. It was basically
broken Congolese.
It was basically broken Congolese.
Right.
But okay, so.
But wait, so how
splitting up in the language again here still.
Congolese were colonized by the French.
Yes.
Right. So how
the French and the Belgians.
So how they get how did the Congolese now get speaking French and they went through the slave trade?
Okay. So
how that spread, like how they, cause I used to watch it on, you know, all of them has got their own language, like French. A state would speak French, a state would speak Bulgarian, another broken Bulgarian, you know.
Okay, so let me.
That comes as a result of the conference of Berlin.
Let me explain how it works. So when Africa was colonized in different places, it was now mandatory because now we're under colonial rule, to speak either French, Portuguese, Belgian, Dutch,
English.
French, English.
A colonized language.
Colonized. When you're in the schools during the colonial era, they will teach you in English. In fact, there was even a drove of English teachers that came into Nigeria, for example, to teach
European
to teach English in schools. Mandated. Then you need to progress in life, and then they're going to tell you that if you can't really speak English, you can't get this job. What was the job? What we call the white collar jobs.
Right.
Staffing, administration, clerk, and all of those things. Storekeepers, and all that. Nothing progressive. Nothing more than that.
Baseline jobs.
But they needed
service sector
manpower.
They needed the manpower, and they needed to communicate with the manpower.
Some boy push sign him out in your swallow.
Don't be gullible.
Don't be gullible. You know, just be able to have a mind for your own. And as I was saying, if most of us was to be able to understand where we're going, where we come from, and the way the direction that we're supposed to be heading in, the same teachers will teach the children, the youths from early who they are.
It's a fact.
And then the same with the other nations, they stick together. They don't even need to go to school to know
who they are.
Yeah, or to unify.
The thing is, again, the thing that Red is showing that we are very special people, that we came from the seed of the Creator. So to allow us to know that in the schools and these places, because we're living in a system that is going to keep us in mental slavery. So to educate us about who we are is a big no-no, because we're going to take over. We're going to take over.
But apart from the education, as soon as we know who we are, let me take over.
Thank you.
Let me take over, because I can learn this. Bam. It can sit good, because truth will sit good with you. So you can teach your brethren.
Yes,
and he can sit so, and he can teach his body, and then and the word can spread. It can spread overnight, obviously. But we had a long time, because the Almighty so gracious, He gave us a long time to be able to get this word out there.
But what you're saying is true, because Palpia always said that it's going to be a time that folds what to get teach.
You're right.
It's going to be a time that as you say, you're going to be at the window, thirsty for this truth.
It's right, when the truth the daily thing, you had an opportunity to come and get it, and you refuse it.
So it's only not going to become a trend. A lot of persons like to jump on, but that's how it goes.
Real thing. So it's just like I would love that. Every boy take time out to really understand and go through and listen to what we're saying and listen to how we're reasoning and get this thing together that we can move forward.